All right. When we say laws of education psychology are universal, we are talking about what I said. It possesses a well-organized, systematic, universally accepted body of facts, supported by relevant psychological principles and laws. So in psychology, you are going to find a lot of body of facts that are accepted universally. You go to Mozambique, you find the same thing. You go to Malawi, you go to America, and so on and so forth. So there is this universally accepted facts, body of facts that is supported by relevant psychological laws and principles. And when we say that education psychology is scientific because it uses scientific methods, I gave you an example whereby I say it adopts scientific approaches when studying the learner. Remember, education psychology makes the learner to learn with ease, the teacher to teach with ease, but at the same time, education psychology, when it wants to study the learner, it uses scientific methods. That is why it is called a science. What kind of scientific methods does it use? Observation, experimentation, clinical investigation, generalization. These are examples of observing a child that are said to be scientific. And because of that, then we are saying education psychology is a science. Why? It uses scientific methods. What kind of methods? Observation, generalization, investigation, experimentation. All right. Another reason why we say education psychology is a science is because I said it is in constant search of the true fact. Yeah. So, you can be an educational psychologist and you come up with a way of teaching and you come out and tell us, you know what guys, I have discovered a way of teaching children. This is the way. So if Wesley comes up with a way of teaching children, we are going to say, yes Wesley, we know a way, we are going to try it. However, it is not going to be taken as absolute and it is not going to be permanent. Time and again, we are going to look for something better than what Wesley has done. So we are saying it is a science because it is in constant search of the truth. So we will keep on looking for something better than what Wesley has produced, or we are going to modify Wesley's method, or we are going to trash it all together and say, Wesley, you can't teach a child using the way because look here, we had an experiment, we tried your way, but this is what has happened. So, nothing in psychology is regarded as absolute and permanent. Things are always evolving and evolving. So you can modify or test an explanation and its findings. So there is a constant search out there, whereby after every search, other ways and means are said, this is the way. Others, they are put aside. Others, there is modification that is taking place. Is it making sense? Okay, so the other reason why we say education psychology is scientific is because it is reliable. How is it reliable? It does not accept hearsays. Akuti, not with psychology. Akuti, no. It does not accept hearsays. At the same time, does not take anything for granted. It does not take anything for granted. If you see a child behaving in a certain way, then therefore that behavior is linked to some occurrence that is making that child to behave in that particular way. And therefore psychology wants to see what is it that is bringing the behavior, this particular behavior in this child. So it does not take hearsays, it does not take anything for granted. So it emphasizes that with every behavior, there is a link or there is a cause. That is why we say it is reliable. Alright, education psychology is a positive science. It is the science because it is a positive science. Why is it a positive science? Because it is not a normative science. Normative, N-O-R-M-A-T-I-V. N-O-R-M-A-T-I-V. Positive science rather than a normative science. Okay. Education psychology is applied behavior science. We are saying it is an applied behavior science. Okay, any questions so far? No? Okay, so if you don't have any question, then remember we said education psychology is concerned with looking at ways and means of making the process easier, but also the outcomes. So let us look at the theories of learning. Theories of learning. When we talk about theory, what comes in your mind? What comes in your mind?
Maybe, okay, if I investigate something, then according to my investigation, so if people have agreed with my investigation, they cannot say they cannot just say it in direct, but they have to say according to Byson's theory. That means that thing was investigated by that person.
Okay, so what is this thing?
Maybe it can be okay, maybe I'll just give it or wait for the theory for someone. Maybe I say that there's this theory from
just explain it. Don't even if you've forgotten the process.
maybe if I say that every parent thinks the way they treat their every parent thinks that the way they treat their children is 100% more than
No quality.
okay,
Your side.
wait.
I'm
trying to code the code. Okay, every mother thinks that the way they treat their kids or their children is best more than more than other
Okay.
more than other women. Yeah. So maybe I'm the one who I discovered that. Maybe I'm the one who I discovered that thinking. So that's the theory. Because I had to come up.
So the theory is the statement where it says every mother treats their children better than the others.
Yeah.
That's the theory.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. When you hear about the theory, in psychology, you hear a lot about theories. According to Bison 2023 theory, according to this theory that says that, what comes in your mind? What is the theory all about? Or maybe this time around when we're talking about theories of learning, what is coming in your mind? Because we are about to embark on a journey where we are going to look at several theories. So we need to understand what a theory is. Okay. A theory. Alright then. A theory is a broad idea. A theory is a broad idea or set of closely related ideas. A theory is a broad idea or set of closely related ideas that attempt to explain certain observations. Okay. So, before we go further, we are saying it is a broad idea. But the work or the function of this broad idea is to explain the occurrences or to explain certain observations. So, in other words, a theory is something that would explain a behavior, but at the same time help you to understand the consequences of a certain behavior. Here we are talking about theories of learning. So if we are saying it is a broad idea or set of closely related ideas that attempt to explain certain observations, then we are talking about theories that are going to explain how learning takes place. Theories of learning. Theories of learning are going to tell us how does learning take place. So you are going to find people out there, they have come up with their own ways and means how they think learning takes place. Someone you are going to hear them, we learn through trial and error. Someone they will tell you we learn because we are motivated by something. Someone is going to tell you we learn because of everything. All these are theories of learning. So, when we are talking about a theory, it is a set of ideas or closely related ideas that try to explain how things function. Theories of change. What brings about change? Someone will tell you that is going to bring about a change, or change is going to be brought by ABCD. So when we're talking about theories, these are explanations that have been tested, they have been tried, and they are true. To the extent that they have been out there where someone would say, okay, this one has written a theory and they say people learn through trial and error. And he took, for example, he made a child go through ABCD and this is where it ended up. Let me try it. So this one who says let me try it is in Zambia. He does the same thing as how this person did, but arrives at the same answer as this one. Okay, somebody picks it up from there, let me try it. They try it following the same rules and steps, they arrive at the same idea. What is happening? They are agreeing to what this one says. So this is the theory of how a person learns. So when we come to a place where we call something a theory, it is because no matter how many times it is going to be duplicated, it is going to produce the same result. As long as you follow through what the person has said, you end up at the same point. So that's a theory. So theories can change. Theories can gain power. A theory can gain power if it is reproducing the results that it originally says it's supposed to produce. So if I am going to come up with a theory, and several people down the line want to test my theory, and they are still coming back to my theory has got more power. You get it? Because no matter what, whoever wants to try my theory, they are still coming back to say, yes, I think you were right. Yes, I think this theory is true. So the more yeses a theory gets, the more powerful a theory becomes. The more exact or the more safe it is for you to use that theory. Clear? If there is a learning theory that has gained more power, it has been tried and tested in a lot of places and it is producing the same results. Me as a teacher, I am going to be at ease to use that same theory because I know this is a powerful theory, it has been used somewhere else and it is going to work now. So when you are talking about a theory, we are saying it is a broad set of closely related ideas that try to explain certain observations. But at the same time, here we are talking about learning theories. So these are set of closely related ideas that are trying to describe how people learn, how animals learn, thereby help us to understand learning. So as a teacher, if you understand how learning takes place, you will be able to know how to teach. If I know how she learns better, I will be using that way. True? Yeah. If I know how he learns better, then I would rather use that approach to make sure that learning takes place. So, learning theory, it simply attempts to describe how people and animals learn. So my point is, for a theory to gain power, it has to reproduce the same results as from the beginning or as from the origin. So no matter where it is going to be tried, it is going to produce the same thing. How do people learn? There's a theory that people learn through trial and error. Is it true? Yes. Let's try it. Okay. Here is a bicycle. You're supposed to cycle. You try the first time, you fall down. Second time, you fall down. Third time, you 3 meters, you fall down. Fourth, 6th, and then there you go. You're cycling properly. What has happened? Trial and error. I think it works. Somebody else somewhere picks the same thing. They say people learn through trial and error. Alright, what do we do? Let's teach maths problem. You need to practice. You get it right, you get it wrong, but eventually you know what you're supposed to do. Try and error. But what is happening? You're using a theory of try and error. Somebody says, no, try and error, someone cannot learn using try and error. What about learning because there is a motivation? Alright, I want you to learn a bicycle. When you learn a bicycle, there's 100,000 things. It's a theory. Someone tries it somewhere, puts 100,000 to say, learn a bicycle. You see the person is going to do everything they can to start cycling and then they get 100,000. But then someone else tries it somewhere else. Someone goes like, I don't care, I don't need the 500,000. I have tried, but I can't do it, and therefore I'm not going to do it. So it means that theory hasn't gained popularity, right? But it is a theory that explains how learning takes place. You are in standard 1, you want to go to standard 2, you need to pass. So, grading system can be a theory. So you put a line to say, if you want to go here, then you need to pass. What have you put there? It's a motivation whereby you want to get to the other side. Or whoever is going to be the first one here, we are going to fly into Blantyre. You're not going by bus, but this is going to be your first time to be on the plane. What is happening? Learning by motivation. So they will start learning because they are motivated, they want to get on the plane. So it's a theory to say, for someone to learn, you need to motivate them. And then somebody else is going to try. It doesn't matter the kind of motivation that I put aside, but the thing is, someone is working because, right? I am working because I have this that I want to achieve. So because of this which has been put aside for you to learn, I am going to learn anyway because I want to get this. So this is what a theory is all about. A set of closely related ideas that attempt to explain how certain things happen. So you are going to hear theories of this, theories of that, behavioral theories, you hear about cognitive theories, you hear about, there are a lot of theories out there in psychology that have been put together to say this is how things work. So the theory is going to be there to explain, to predict. The intelligence is not a tell. Try it. You discover that when you go through the system, you also end where the theory is saying. So learning may be defined as relative permanent change in behavior due to experience. Learning may be described as a relative permanent change. Relative permanent change in behavior due to experience. Due to experience. Or caused by recognition of habits, skills and thought processes. Skills and thought processes. So learning may be defined as a relative permanent change in behavior due to experience. Experience can make you learn, right? We say experience is a good teacher. That's a common statement. So learning may be defined as a relative permanent change in behavior due to experience or caused by recognition of habits, skills, and thought processes. Learning takes place in many ways. So, some methods of learning are used in acquisition of simple responses. Acquisition of simple responses. Acquisition. Some methods of learning are used in the acquisition of simple responses. What are other methods? Are used in acquisition of complex responses. organisms learn in different ways. When I'm talking about organisms, I'm talking about animals as well as people. So learning takes place in many ways. Some methods are used in the acquisition of simple responses. Others are used in the acquisition of complex responses. Acquire, get. Yeah. Acquisition is coming from acquire. So, one of the examples of the simplest kind of learning is conditioning. Conditioning is an example of simple kind of learning. Apart from conditioning, we also have trial and error learning. Insight learning. There are several of them. Okay, so let us look at the learning by trial and error. Learning by trial and error. I don't believe it. We learned this with Boston. I gave the thing here. Do you remember Edward Lee Thorndike? Do you remember this trial and error?
No.
Okay, so learning by trial and error. This one was the guy behind trial and error is Edward Lee, L-E-E, Thorndike. So sometimes along this path of education, you will find other lecturers that are going to ask you a question like, explain Edward Lee Thorndike's theory of learning. You hear that? Explain or discuss Edward Lee Thorndike's theory of learning. They are not going to give you the trial and error part. You need to remember, what did Edward Thorndike did? What was his theory called? What is it all about? So we are saying Edward had a theory in as far as learning is concerned, and his theory was called trial and error. I am expecting you to write trial and error theory dash Edward Lee Thorndike. Alright, this one was one of the famous psychologists that lived between 1834 and 1949. And he was the initiator of this theory, whereby he said learning is based on trial and error. Okay. Most organisms encounter errors. With repeated trials, errors reduce. True or false? Most organisms, they come across errors or problems. With repeated trials, errors reduce. True. So you try it for the first time, so many errors. You try it the second time, the errors will be there but reduced. The more you do it, the more errors are going to be reduced. So this phenomenon is known as trial and error. And it is learning in a simple sense. Okay, so trial and error is one of the many theories of learning in behavioral psychology. Educational psychology, behavioral psychology. So in behavioral psychology, the psychology that is concerned with behavior, it has got so many theories. But amongst those, one is trial and error. Alright, so how did Thorndike this is learned through trial and error. What Thorndike did was, he had a hungry cat, a puzzle box, and he took the hungry cat, put it in the puzzle box, and outside this box, there was a fish. You know fish smell. Fish has got that smell whereby a cat would actually know close by somewhere there is a fish that needs to be eaten. So what Thorndike did was he had that box, a puzzle box, he called it puzzle box, and then he had a hungry cat and a clever fish. And in this puzzle box, what he did was it had one door. This door was closed. It could only be opened if the cat was able to step on something or to pull on something. So the moment the cat reaches on the latch or pulls the string, the door was supposed to fling open. And then the cat goes out and eats the fish. But then, here is a hungry cat that's been put into this box. The cat is a cat. It does not know how to get out. It's so hungry, but it can smell fish. What is it doing? It wants to go out to get the fish, but it doesn't know how to get out of the box. Then what does it do? What does the cat do? The cat will keep scratching around the walls of this thing to make sure that it goes out. But accidentally, this cat is going to step on something. And when that happens, the door opens. He eats the fish. Again, he keeps the cat hungry, puts it back into the box. The cat sits there and it starts scratching around again. Steps on something, the door flings open. He kept on doing that to the cat until the cat came to a point where it said, wait a minute, this is not just some random scratching. When I do this, the door opens. So trial and error until he landed at the right place. So every time the cat was put into the box, the time it took before it came out was reducing. What was happening? The cat started to know what to do. So the next time he put the cat in the box, immediately the cat is out. Why? He exactly knew where to go, where to press, so he simply put there. But in the beginning, it was trial and error until it discovered that which was opening the door that led it to eat the fish outside. Make sense? Alright. You think about the guy that created the bar. They say how many times did he try and fail? There are numbers. James Watt, is it James? The guy who invented the bulb, the light bulb. This one. Wait, let's find out. The light bulb. Johnson, Edward, I don't really know this what. Nikola Tesla did not help. This was ridiculous. Where is this guy? Alright, so this guy that created the light bulb tried it over and over and over again until someday he was able to produce a light bulb. Until today we're using it, but it was through trial and error.